facing a milestone birthday, the ageist messaging that is surrounding us is supercharged. You know, we all of a sudden start thinking, my God, I'm a woman, I'm turning 50. I'm a man, I'm turning 70.
Hey, girlfriends, welcome to another episode of She Said, He Said with Marc Middleton. And this is where we just have amazing fun and exciting, controversial topic discussion points so that you can really get a feel from where it comes, right? So we're two different ages, two different genders with two different points of views. So what do you want to talk about, Marc, today?
We are very different, but Tracy, I've come to believe we're also very much alike. I really want to talk about milestone birthdays from a couple of different perspectives, because I know you will be turning the big 50 one of these years soon. I recently turned 70, and there's two reasons I want to talk about this, because I think our culture, when we're facing a milestone birthday, the ageist messaging that is surrounding us is supercharged. You know, we all of a sudden start thinking, my God, I'm a woman, I'm turning 50. I'm a man, I'm turning 70. Our culture wants us to feel old. They want us to believe all of this negative stuff that is out there. And, you know, I have come to believe that the way to handle that is to attack your milestone birthdays in a positive way. And as you may or may not know, I am a competitive swimmer. And when you age up, you're in a new age group. So I just turned 70, and I 6 months ago got determined to hit 70 in the greatest physical shape I could be in. I wanted to be in the optimum health. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be the right weight. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be. So instead of kind of bemoaning the fact that I turned 70, I wanted to hit 70 in as powerful a way as I could. And I did that when I turned 60 and 50 and 40. And lo and behold, I think it's a pretty good strategy for dealing with a period when our culture, our friends, you know, all of this over the hill, black balloons, black cards, it's just crazy. We should celebrate the fact that we've reached a milestone birthday. How about you? How do you feel as you get ready to turn 50?
Yeah, so I'm turning 48 on Sunday. And, you know, for me, Marc, I've done my crises 2 years early. So I plan them and then they'd come early. But this year I don't feel the need for a crisis. And I think it's because I've realized that I'm in this place in my life at this time, at this age, for a purpose. I really am. I mean, I started a lifestyle show for women over 40, 50, 60 and beyond. Would I have been able to do this when I was younger? I don't think so. I feel like now is the time. And you know, my audience is predominantly 34 to 55. And it's interesting because those that are in their 34 or late 30s are looking to women like me. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking to women older than myself and men older than myself for, you know, kind of a guide is how do we do this aging thing, because we're not doing it like our mothers and our grandmothers. We're doing it completely differently. And so I kind of feel like I've been let off the hook. I was expecting this big like 48 thing to be a thing, and it just doesn't feel like a thing for me this year.
You know, you make a great point. And I can tell you, as much as I have resisted the ageist messaging for a long time, 70 is more difficult. Just a little bit. I handled it immediately, but it's because, as you mentioned, there's really not too many examples growing up. Well, when people were 70, when I was a kid, it was old. You know, what we're doing is showing others that 48 and 70 are really, really cool. And, you know, it's really what Growing Bolder is all about, is giving examples of people that are 50 and 60 and 70, 80 and 90 and 100, sharing those examples, because example has far more followers than reason. You and I can tell all the people out there that it's not bad. In fact, it's good, but until they see somebody, and I mentioned this before, and I'm going to talk about this for a while until I get over it, which may be never. But I spent a lot of time with a 105-year-old woman in Louisiana this past week who became the oldest female in history to compete in a sanctioned athletic event. And the least interesting thing about her was her athletic ability. She was sharp and clever and kind and courteous and interesting, and just an amazing amount of fun. One of the most engaging people I have ever spent time with at 105 years old. So she's not worried at all about growing older. She's still living a big, exciting, bold life at 105. So we shouldn't resent. We shouldn't regret growing older. We should celebrate it.
I think you're right. And I think so much of it comes from how we feel about ourselves and the messaging that we take on, right, Mark? Because the messaging is there, but do we take it on? Do we make it become our identity? Do we make it become and dictate to us how we live our lives? I said, hell no. I am not about to do anything just because I'm told to do it. I want to live boldly my whole life. Yeah.
And so we say to people out there, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe Tracy Gold, who is talking to you as a friend, or are you going to believe these corporations that are raising their profits by lowering our self-esteem? I mean, that's their business model, point blank. That's exactly what they're in business to do, is to make you feel worse about yourself as you get older. You can't believe them. You got to believe her.
Yeah, but also, Mark, I think it's also our own friends, because I hear so many women talk about, oh, when they were in their better years, and oh, they're so old now they can't do anything. So I think it's being aware of that messaging and then flipping it around. So when somebody says, oh, I'm too old, I'm like, there's no such thing. It's like, and I will say to somebody, I said, oh, how young are you? Instead of how old are you? How young are you? You know what? Because your age is so, we put so much weight on our birth date, but really that says so little about us. So little, because it depends on the kind of people we are. It depends on how healthy we are. It depends on how passionate we are about living. You can have a person who is very young feeling very old, and the other way around. So I feel like we must encourage each other, Mark, as well. This is so great. Like, I love hearing your story about being 70 and going, yeah, I'm still going to do it. And this woman that's 105 and yeah, I'm still going to do it. And it makes us realize we're not alone. And I think that is so important. We're not alone.
And it's all about adapting and accommodating as we grow older, because you say you're not too old. You know, too old for what? I'll admit I'm too old to become a starting linebacker in the NFL. But you know, we're not kind or gentle to ourselves. I'm not too old for many, 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 many things that I would still enjoy and still could be successful at. Aging sucks. This is the guy who started a company called Growing Bolder telling you that aging sucks. But also being young sucks. Being middle-aged sucks. The human condition is fraught with challenges every single step of the way. But for some reason, we only choose to look at the bad parts, the negative parts, the difficult parts of growing older, and not celebrate the endless opportunities to do almost, as many things as we've ever wanted to do, and to do them with as much passion as we ever had, and to do them with more significance than we ever thought possible. So, it's, we can't feel sorry for ourselves, Tracy. I think that's one of the biggest things, is that as we get older, we start to feel sorry because we're old and we can't do what we want to do. Now, get over it.
Absolutely. Let's get over it, and let's thrive at every age, and let's determine ourselves what that looks like. Thank you, Marc. This has been so good.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye.